West Coast, we're continuing to watch what's taking place with the Carnival Splendor, that crippled cruise liner right there, now in the view of that San Diego port. Folks, in perhaps just a few hours, will actually be able to get off that crippled ship where there was no hot water, no hot meals since Monday. And there's some images there of folks who are just watching the view. Our Paul Verkaman, senior producer, is joining us from San Diego. So how much closer might that ship be?
Oh, Frederica, it is much, much closer. In fact, I think it should get into port pretty quickly here. You see it's turned the corner into San Diego harbor, and we can't say that it's steaming into port because you see it's being pulled by a flotilla of tugboats. Good to see. When I was out on the USS Ronald Reagan, we were watching one poor tugboat at one point just straining to pull this along. And one of the reasons is you can't really tell from this angle, but the Carnival Splendor is more than 3 football fields long. It's something like 113,000 gross tonnage. It's just absolutely massive, and that's why this was such a difficult task. Once it was disabled, they had to figure out how to move it either to Ensenada. They changed their mind, so they decided to bring it here into San Diego Harbor. I assume we'll have this reunion rather quickly as it traverses the harbor and docks here behind you.
So, Paul, it seems, are they a bit ahead of schedule?
A bit is an understatement, Frederica. They were talking about midday today, and this was yesterday, and somehow I think adding in that other tugboat and some other favorable conditions allowed them really to ratchet things up. So they got things done in a hurry, Frederica. They're way ahead of schedule.
So now I wonder what kind of welcoming committee, is in place there. I mean, folks have not had hot beverages. They haven't had hot meals. Yes, they've had Spam. Yes, they've had cold sandwiches. They've been in the dark for a long time. What has been put in place, if anything, there in San Diego to welcome them or give them some sort of creature comforts?
Well, I believe they've set up various drinks and other things and some other hot food behind me. And also the other welcoming committee is where a lot of these people will be to see their relatives who will be relieved to find out that they survived their vacation. Insert your own joke there, Frederica.
Well, hopefully folks have a sense of humor after all they've been through. But then again, I imagine there are a lot of folks who are pretty steamy over their vacations being spoiled like this.
I think steamy is the operative word once you lose your air conditioning.
Yeah, understatement, and a little smelly too. But at least they've made it, hopefully, to shore safely, right? And as far as we understand, no one has been injured, no one has gotten ill during this end of the journey, right?
That's exactly right. In fact, I was just talking to the Coast Guard just a short while ago, and disappearing from the frame just a little bit earlier was the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Morgenthau, and it played a crucial role. It was sort of the guardian angel, if you will. Once they got there with the 18 crew members, they sent a Navy corpsman aboard the cruise ship and made sure everyone was okay. And just to check and make sure that, there were no surprise deliveries or births and no major trauma. They didn't even have to do any, repair of broken arms or anything like that. Not that you would expect it just because an engine went out. But, through the course of a cruise, things can happen. And they say, so far, so good. And everybody is in pretty good health. And, yes, they might be a little angry and peeved, but nothing major going on aboard the Carnival Splendor in terms of medical issues.
Okay, Paul Verkaman, we'll check back with you because it is really close. It's just over your shoulder there, that huge ship. 3 football fields long. That's extraordinary. Pulling into port there at San Diego.